BBC, inspiring Uganda.
Good evening. Welcome to the second edition of News Tonight. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakoni, and this is what we have for you this time round. President Yoweri Museveni has ended the 90-day campaign trail by warning opponents to drop their plans of disrupting peace in the country. Museveni was addressing his last campaign rally at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds in Kampala.
It has been a day full of excitement at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds in Kampala as thousands of NRM supporters attended the last campaign rally of candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The Tuesday 13th January 2026 gathering was mainly for party supporters from Kampala Central. However, they were joined by hundreds of loyalists from the entire country. Moments later, the day was brightened by the arrival of candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The old man with the hat was accompanied by the ever-smiling First Lady, Janet Kataha Museveni. Upon taking his seat as the head of state, both the Ugandan and East African anthems were sung.
Because you have led us in the very, very tested and tried and tested way that will ensure stability for our country.
The occasion was then blessed by a session of religious leaders. In attendance were government ministers, heads of departments, international election observers, as well as religious and opinion leaders.
Njakuyozayoza His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni okutambula district 17 nga mu mazima alaze akyalina stamina okulidinga ensi yaffe Uganda.
According to the party members, the Kololo rally has been more of a celebration than a campaign gathering.
Excellency, we went around the country. You address rallies. At times you would address 3 rallies in a day, and in the evenings you would have meetings of various levels. We thank you for finishing.
And congratulations to you all for finishing our campaign across the country in peace and harmony. I want to thank the families of Uganda, the women of Uganda,
abachala ba Uganda mwenna,
the men, the religious leaders, the youth. Thank you all.
The Kololo NRM rally rounds up the 3-month-long campaign marathon for President Museveni.
I have had 143 rallies. They were not just rallies. They were like celebrations because we find they are very happy.
President Museveni is seeking for the 7th term of office as President of Uganda.
Uganda now is 17 times richer as a country from where it was in 1986.
This, according to President Museveni, has earned Uganda the world's fastest growing economy status.
Uganda is the 5th fastest growing country in the whole world.
For every speaker at this rally spoke with a more louder and clear tone.
I wish to make a humble and firm call to all the citizens of Uganda that on Thursday 15th January 2025, I want to urge all of you to turn up in large numbers and peacefully exercise your constitutional right and vote for President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. To those who thought NRM was not a party to reckon with, that we are issuing a statement to those who hate us, to those who speak against us.
Therefore, ours is to go out and vote because we have a responsibility. Because we have a responsibility.
kubanga tulina obuvunanyizibwa.
I have said that our vote is...
Ngambye bulijjo nti akaluluko
is our brick that we put on the building of Uganda.
If voted back into office, President Museveni has pledged to serve the common Ugandan.
Since you are supporting us in the new government, we are going to emphasize some issues which affect the poor.
The 5-year term will also be a tenant of infrastructure development and justice for all, according to the president.
The justice in the courts, Makoti, so that people don't be oppressed.
To those contesting against candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, this is his warning.
I want to advise some of the opposition people. They are saying that they want to do some violence here and there. I want to urge you, don't fear anybody, anything. You go and vote. Anybody who tries to interfere with your freedom will be crushed. We are ready to put an end to this indiscipline. Nobody has got a right to intimidate you. So therefore,
No, Rachel.
go out and vote.
Of course, the message has been written in black and white to all Ugandans that indeed we must choose peace above everything. Because remember, the next government, we need you and me. And if we stay peaceful, we live to enjoy that government. I'm Robert Onyango for UBC News here at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds.
First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has commended the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, and government partners for their successful collaboration in implementing the Nehemiah Initiative, a nationwide school greening project. Mrs. Museveni was speaking during the Nehemiah project closeout meeting at State House, Nakasero.
Greening schools, greening the future.
Mrs. Museveni described the Nehemiah Initiative as a critical intervention that has laid a strong foundation for greening schools, transforming and building climate-resilient schools, and instilling environmental stewardship among learners. The meeting reviewed the final results of the UNDP-funded $600,000, approximately Ugandan shilling 2.2 billion, initiative implemented in 41 pioneer schools across the country. The First Lady reflected on the biblical inspiration behind the project's name, noting that Nehemiah, the great rebuilder, mobilized people to rebuild the wall around Jerusalem so they would no longer live in disgrace.
Looking at our schools and institutions today, they are still in need of more greening and fencing. I therefore believe that the work is not yet complete. We still have a lot of work to do. And more than anything else, really, I wanted all our schools with hedges that would stop animals running into the schools. And
reflecting on her own school days, the First Lady noted that beautiful green compounds were once the standard for Ugandan education.
As we close out and UNDP hands over the project to the ministry, our prayer now is that God alone will give us the increase. The foundation has been laid with our partners holding hands with us. We can now continue to build on what we have started so that we go out and actually participate in what we want to see happen in our schools, so that we can give them the ideas of what we really want to see.
Mama Janet reaffirmed her commitment to championing the next phase of the initiative and called upon all stakeholders to build on the gains made to ensure long-term impact.
There are many lessons that we have learned, and these should be able to push us forward as the ministry in sustaining the implementation of this program.
The Nehemiah Initiative Greening Schools project was launched in October 2022 with a vision of building climate-resilient schools, promoting environmental stewardship, fencing schools, and providing shade and beautification of school compounds, It ended in December 2025.
This project has been, I think, it's been quite a good project for, particularly, I know that the vision was, on your part, was to provide the hedges, to beautify, but it has been a very good project for the students involved. There were other projects also that we did in UNDP that linked with Nehemiah.
Key achievements highlighted in the project report presented by UNDP project officer Rose Wanyana include the establishment of 3 nurseries in 41 secondary schools across all regions of Uganda, the raising of over 516,000 seedlings, including fruit trees, timber species, medicinal plants, and live hedges, the training of 1,889 students and 93 teachers in nursery management.
I've really learned a lot from this project, Nehemiah Tree Project, and it has really made us learn very many things. These trees, after us planting them in our schools, first of all, they will give us shade. We students, sometimes we find we are hungry, and if the trees are having something, so we can go there, pick something to eat, and we really satisfy our lives.
This project has really done us good. Our students have benefited a lot from it. First of all, it is going to help us in improving the environment. When you plant trees, you'll be in position to protect and improve the environment generally.
First, we faced a challenge of the prolonged drought, but because of the water tank that was provided to us by the funders I've mentioned above, we managed to water our seedlings again, because we knew that one day our trees would grow again.
Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
The Uganda Communications Commission, UCC, has suspended public internet access, sale of new SIM cards and outgoing roaming data services. This was announced by the Executive Director, Uganda Communications Commission.
On the recommendation, a strong recommendation by the Interagency Security Committee, the Uganda Communications Commission has directed all licensed mobile network operators and internet service providers to implement a temporary suspension of the following services. A, public internet access. B, sale of and registration of new SIM cards. C, outbound data roaming services to one network area countries. In respect of the principle of legitimate aim, the Internet Restriction Directed is in line with the legitimate purpose, that is protecting national security, public safety, and public order. This suspension I'm talking about was effective some few minutes back. That is 13th January 2026 at 18 hours, and remain in force until a restoration notice is issued by the regulator. Public internet traffic which has been blocked includes social media platforms, web browsing, video streaming, personal email services, and messaging applications, among others. To safeguard public safety, however, critical national functions and the operational integrity of communication infrastructure, UCC has defined an exclusion list, of course, together with the Joint Agency Security Committee. We have defined an exclusion list which permits continued access to essential services and systems required for network monitoring and management, and is strictly for non-mobile internet services. The following categories of systems have been excluded from the public internet suspension and are strictly applicable to non-mobile services. Essential public services and critical infrastructure that have been whitelisted include the following: healthcare systems and national referral hospitals. Financial services essential for public welfare, including core banking networks, interbank funds transfer and clearing system, ATM networks, URA tax payment systems, government department to department payment gateways, government international payment systems, gateways, etc. More details on these, that is mobile money and financial services, will be provided by the Governor, Central Bank, with the regulator of financial services. Government administrative services, including immigration, electoral commission secure portals, voter verification system, result tabulation networks, and more of these will be given by the government. 4, utilities management, including power grid and payment system, water supply control and payment, fuel distribution logistics. 5, transportation and aviation control systems, including air traffic control, railway signaling, and such other related systems. SIM swaps and SIM upgrade systems within existing regulations. Uganda Communication Commission will continue to be guided on restoration of services by the Interagency Security Committee. Thank you very much.
The National Unity Platform presidential candidate Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu has also officially concluded campaigns. Kyagulanyi closed his campaign trail with rallies in Nansana Municipality and Busiro East.
Mumende twine ebirombe by'amayinja naye ebirombe by'amayinja ababimanaginga basajja baveeyo China bava bweru bafuna ssente wano nga bazitwala ewaabwe ebweru ba international lwise mu budget singa 10 terukolebwa badde nkusaba ngoze kuba president oluguudo lwa Nakawuka Mukama waffe lubeere nga lukolwa chorus mpera nti mu myezi ebiri Mukama wange nakozesa akagambo ka Luzungu nti in 2 to 3 months the whole world is going to feel my presence and representation in parliament. Abantu basoberwa era enguudo z'Awakiso nyingi zeetaaga kukolebwa kubanga oluguudo lwa Nakawuka luli awo nti lutambula kasoobo newankubadde ate ssente zirina oddukola za bbanja. Pulezidenti wange nsanyusa okulaba mu Busiro East Constituency era ssebo ebizibu bya Busiro East Constituency nze ndi Busigire constituency wagikwasa mukulu wa Lukagga era nga bwagikwasizza ssebo enaku z'omwezi 15 ngenda kuleetera windi ate windi eyo ssebo gikwanjulire kubuusabuusa kwonna mutima gwange ti baganda bange mumanyi omulamwa gwa generation yammwe mumanyi omulamwa gw'omugigi gwammwe nsaba bwe muva wano mugende mutuukirize omulamwa ogwo Omukama akkirize tusobole okwenunula era ku lwaleero mwenna bafuut soja njagala lwe luba olunaku olusembayo okwambala ovulo zammwe muzisooke muzitereke enkofiira zammwe musooke muzitereke buli ekikulaga nti oli wankyukakyuka osooke okitereke obeerenga muntu mulala tubeere ffena nga tufaanagana nze ng'omuntu nyina kye nsobola okukola naye ebingi tusobola bikola ffenna ebingi mwe musobola obikola njagala mumanye ekyo bwe mukiwulira kati mmwe muba mufuuka Bakyagulanyi.
eyomuli tubulayo olunaku lwa nkya lwokka olunaku olwokuna njagala obbasaba muveeyo mwenna mu bungi mugende mulonde ekyokulonda mukimanyi.
Citizens are urged to exercise their constitutional right by turning up on polling day to vote for their leaders. The head of the National Fellowship of Born-Again Pentecostal Churches of Uganda, Archbishop Moses Odongo, delivered a message while speaking at his home in Kitende.
With only hours remaining before Ugandan citizens headed to the polls to elect their leaders, religious leaders are entrusting the nation to God. The head of the National Fellowship of Born-Again Pentecostal Churches of Uganda, Archbishop Dr. Moses Odong, has prayed for Uganda's protection.
Heavenly Father, I thank you for our nation and all of us Ugandans. I pray right now in the name of Jesus that let you stretch your hand upon our country, uphold our nation with your righteous, right and strong arm, that peace will reign in the hearts of the citizens and all of us.
Bishop Dr. Dong urged the citizens to turn out in large numbers to vote, emphasizing that it is their constitutional right.
It is our time to participate and exercise our true rights as Ugandans. Most people think that other people will elect for me or vote for me. And so what you are doing is you are deciding for them. You are letting them decide for you. Don't let others decide for you. You must participate in the decision.
However, he urged them to vote carefully and avoid spoiling their ballots.
I call upon you to turn up, to vote correctly. Correctly meaning that you tick within the box that you are portioned to. And or if you are putting a thumb, you put your thumb within the box. Don't overlap it.
Betty Odongo, head of Remnant Mothers Association, urged the women across the country, especially young mothers, to participate in the voting exercise, reminding the youth to avoid getting involved in scandals.
Today I am here to call upon every woman, all women in Uganda, and our daughters and our grandchildren, those who are at the age of voting and those who are registered to vote. We are voting, let's keep peace. Let's leave the confusion of fighting or even trying to cause confusion on the voting day.
Meanwhile, the Muslim community urged nationals to participate in the voting exercise, maintain peace and avoid violence, warning that instability disrupts development.
Chairperson Electoral Commission Justice byabakama omusajja omukulu ennyo muivu mukulu wange tusaba nti mubeere in charge mubeere ab'obuvunaanyizibwa mukakase nti you deliver.
Zukulu mbasaba beeyise bulungi ensi eyagala mirembe teyagala mirerembe. Gwe obeera mu kisaawe ky'akalulu weeyise bulungi.
In another development, some supporters of the NRM party marched in jubilation to Kololo Independence ceremonial grounds to attend the funerary of their party flag bearer for presidential bid, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
Bazadde bange balimi era tulabira ddala nti muzeeyi alwaniridde ddala okutumbula ebyobulimi.
In Ikole district, defaulters from UPC to NRM appreciated the NRM party for reinstalling peace in the formerly war-torn region.
He has done a lot for Lao sub-region, especially Kona. We have Emioga, we have PDM, good schools, good roads, good hospitals.
Of Kole, we are very happy because you have given us a health center for, you have upgraded it into district hospital. That is Aboke Health Center 4.
Uganda's former High Commissioner to Canada, Joy Ruth Acheng, vying for Kole Woman Member of Parliament seat, also lauded the significant developments of the NRM era.
Why are we supporting him? Why are we protecting the gains? What gains are we protecting? To me personally, as somebody who suffered from civil war, which stayed in northern Uganda for over 20 years. We now have peace, there's security, and people are free to do what they want.
Achenge wants President Museveni to reflect the inspirations of Uganda's younger population.
What I'm looking at is that if we we bring the skilling centers, like the vocational training centers for youth. They can learn a lot of things, and they will be having jobs and something to survive on.
I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
The head of the State House Investors Protection Unit, Colonel Edith Nakalema, has affirmed that all state affairs will transcend the upcoming election exercise. She emphasized that except for the days gazetted by the president as holidays, government affairs will continue.
Investors Protection Unit's mandate is to coordinate with all government ministries, departments and agencies to ensure a thriving investment climate in Uganda is maintained.
The head of the State House Investors Protection Unit, Colonel Edith Nakalema, has assured the public that service delivery will transcend the election exercise slated for 15th January to 6th Feb 2026.
In this period, when we are approaching the elections day, the 15th of January, which is Thursday, we are assuring everyone that all services are going to continue and the investments are going to be protected. And in my view, you yourselves, you are investors and you are the investment.
Save for the days that have been gazetted by His Excellency as holidays, the industries are open. They will continue to be open right from Saturday, and we are open for three major reasons. We don't want people to have disruptions in their income streams, because people in industries, which is the main employer, we want to assure our suppliers should not get breakdown, because these are people who gather the raw materials for industries.
While addressing journalists at the State House Protection Unit with 12 heads of government agencies, they highlighted on the gains achieved in different sectors.
80s and early 90s, life expectancy was about 46 years. As we talk now, the life expectancy is 68 years.
The shilling, as they have told you, is the most stable currency in Africa. Inflation, we have been able to manage it at less than 5% for a very long time. We are actually we are number one again in Africa in terms of managing inflation.
Tourism has overtaken all the other industries in terms of being where we think our GDP in 2040 will come from. There are over 600,000 people employed by tourism, including myself.
They also urged journalists to avoid escalating conflict and report objectively.
Let's avoid any sensationalism, especially that is linked to conflict. That doesn't mean that you do not cover the things that need to be covered, no. But
so let us not disrupt the livelihood of 600,000 plus Ugandans on fake news. That is my humble request.
Busoga clan leaders have resolved to vote President Yoweri Museveni as well as solicit for support for their subjects to back the president. This was revealed at a two-day ideological reflection engagement in Kamuli district.
For us, we are on the side of government. First and foremost, I want to appreciate the government of Uganda, especially the president of Uganda, because some 5 years back, the president gave all the 11 chiefs new pickups vehicles. And even the peace that we have in our chiefdoms is the one who revived these chiefdoms, even our king. When it comes to 15th January 2025, I want to see that all the Basogas, they take NRM, they take Yoweri Museveni, and all card bearers. So for us as cultural leaders, we are ready to do that.
Even during this season of elections, we are behind the NRMO government, and we shall offer our support unreservedly.
They also recognize
that they have a very important role in the process of transforming the Basoga and the Busoga. When they are now moving along the process of togetherness, along the process of harmony, which can give them the impetus to work together and be able to tap into those economic triggers and be able to implement them in their destinies of various clans, so that now they can all move in the one direction of changing the lives of the people.
President Yabagira ezira president nga President Museveni kyakoze ku bantu kasookedde mbone ba president ababayiro. President Museveni yambye abantu baviire abasinga mu bwavu olw'ensonga nti obuyumba obwesubi titukabubona mu byalo. Baba webalirira bakuwa obululu Museveni ju Museveni hoye abasoga muge baba obululu abazira kukyukakyuka.
Now, as campaign for presidential and parliamentary candidates close, Mityana South NRM flag bearer Henry Makumbi convoy and that of the NUP candidate Kevin Naluoga met in Namungo Town Council, and they peacefully parted without any exchange or scuffle.
Amasanyalaze gaddemu okuyiriba ab'Eddundu Lukamata gavana Lukamata owaddundu wenzaalibwa gye banziika abakeraffe mugenda okulaba essannyalaze bwe litiirika mugenda okulaba essannyalaze bwe litiirika emugulu mugenda okulaba essannyalaze bwe litiirika ettiiyo ogenda odiraba ennamugulu ogenda odirengera mu luzzi abantu nga balowooza nti ndoota ne batuuka ne basimba obukondo ne babuyita obukondo bwa Makumbi mbulaba obukondo bukuuseeyo babusibyeko embuzi era amasanyalaze tegajja kujja bwe mutyo bwe mugamba nti ne kola sirajja kujja bw'abanga ye Museveni omwana wa Kaguta muzukulu nyina ye Esteri kitaawe nga ye Amos ng'ali mu buyinza amazima ga Katonda nja kuleeta kolasi w'Emityana kino ekikonge abaana kiri kitya ekyennamungo kiri kitya okwebaza ewaffe Namungo nga tuwerekerwako ebbendobendo lya Busunju Town Council nga tuwerekerwako ebbendobendo lya Ssekanyonyi kyalo erya Zaala Town Council nga tuwerekerwako ekibuga kya Ssekanyonyi. Kaakati ffe bannannyini mufu ffe tukuta wakola ki? Oyo ye Nantume Joy Esther. Nsanyuse okubalaba kati booka mbasabe batuule.
Mbasaba ng'ennaku z'omwezi 15 lwe Lwokuna lwe tugendamu buli omukeera genda olonde Makumbi zigenda okuwera ssaawa 6 nga Makumbi awedde, Museveni awedde, n'Abakoba awedde, linda ebiralo ojja kulaba ebinaavanga binyuma.
Omulimu mugukoze naye waliwo olunaku lw'ennaku z'omwezi 15 basabo ne bannyabo olwo lwe lunaku olugenda okulaga nti mukoze omulimu. Basabo ne bannyabo mbakubiriza abantu b'enaale mu mulimu obuntuntu buno mubankime ku pikipiki naye nga polling station weeri eri kumpi. Basabo ne bannyabo mbakubiriza ku nnaku z'omwezi 15 bwekera bukazi ku makya twongere okubalaga empisa enki ffe kye tusinga okwetaaga bwe buweereza mu ggombolola y'e Namungo. Twagala tulage bannaffe be tuvuganya nti kye tubadde tulwanirira kuzza Mityana South ku ntikko.
Thank you so much for watching. Let's take a short break.
Can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Kabogozi,
Huh?
where are you coming from?
From NSSF.
NSSF. You traveled all the way from Namaguli to get NSSF services. Lekanawe. You walk on the era. NSSF is now everywhere. Come on, I show you.
You can register for NSSF. How contributing your Simate life? Never deep down in the Marara. Make NSSF payments. No hala okubekarangala. NSSF sure is not far. But tomorrow kuhika gochido. Enjoy NSSF from where you are.
Access NSSF services right where you live. With over 20,000 quick teller agents across Uganda, now you can conveniently register yourself, make NSSF payments, and contributions to your Smart Life account to Ubeda. NSSF, a better life.
This is our home, our land, our Uganda. From the rolling hills to the busy streets, from the farmers in the fields to the students in classrooms, we are one people. Elections are a time to choose our leaders, not to fight our brothers and sisters. When violence enters the ballot box, the future of our country is wounded. But when peace leads the way, our nation grows stronger. On election day, choose unity over diversion, respect over hatred, and dialogue over distraction. Love your country, protect your fellow citizens, stand for peace, and say no to electoral violence. This message is brought to you by the Global Election Observation Mission, GEOM, in partnership with the Uganda Electoral Commission. Informed citizens, strong nation.
Starting with 100,000 shillings, you begin building real financial strength, because wealth doesn't just happen. You build it. And the ones who start early end up ahead. Every deposit, every month, every little increase. This is how your money grows into wealth. Put your money to work with the experts at SBG Securities. Partner with us today on your investment journey.
SBG Securities. Keep growing for you, for them, forever.
Welcome home to entertainment. To Wi-Fi everywhere. To high-speed internet. To security. To first-class support. To convenience. Welcome home to MTN WakaNet, superior internet for every home. Visit www.mtn.co.ug/WakaNet. Welcome home. Together, we are unstoppable.
Unisteel Investment Uganda Limited, shaping the future of steel in East Africa and beyond. With an investment of over $100 million and a production capacity of 300,000 metric tons per annum, Unisteel is setting new standards in steel manufacturing. At our state-of-art facility, we produce TMX rebars, branded Unis TMX 500 CWR, and high-quality wire rods using only imported virgin steel billets. Every batch is tested and tracked for unmatched quality assurance. Our steel powers the region's most ambitious projects, from dams, skyscrapers, to bridges and beyond. Unisteel, superior quality, trustworthy choice.
Starting with 100,000 shillings, you begin building real financial strength, because wealth doesn't just happen. You build it. And the ones who start early end up ahead. Every deposit, every month, every little increase. This is how your money grows into wealth. Put your money to work with the experts at SBG Securities. Partner with us today on your investment journey.
SBG Securities. Keep growing for you, for them, forever.
We thank you so much for watching. Preparations at the Electoral Commission's National Tally Center in Lubowa have entered their final phase, signaling readiness for the country's 7th general election. The Electoral Commission Chairperson Justice Simon Byabakama told UBC that the Commission is ready for the task.
Video footage coming in from Lubowa paints a picture of full readiness at the Electoral Commission National Tally Center as voters prepare for polls this Thursday. The grounds are neatly arranged, tents fully erected, and the atmosphere charged with anticipation as Uganda counts down to polling day. Inside the Tally Center, computers plus electronic gadgets critical in the transmission, verification, and computation of results are already in place. Every detail appears carefully planned, reflecting the magnitude of an exercise which will shape the nation's next 5-year political future.
I want to inform the people of Uganda. As the Electoral Commission, we've been preparing for this election for the last 2 or 2.5 years when we issued the roadmap.
As Uganda stands on the brink of another critical democratic milestone, all eyes remain fixed on Lubowa, where the final tally of the people's voice will be received.
I want to appeal to every Ugandan as we head to the end of campaigns and go to polling on the 15th. Let us maintain peace. Let us observe law and order. Let us be civil. Let us be tolerant to one another. Remember, Uganda shall be there after 15th. Remember, there are very many important things or activities or programs that we do that matter to us individually. The work we do in our offices, in our businesses, in the markets, transport, in the gardens, and so on. So to me, all this can only happen in an environment of peace and stability. Let us be united on the cause for peace and stability as we head for polling 2026.
As Uganda steps into this decisive election week, the ballot becomes more than a civic ritual, with every vote carrying the weight of tomorrow. Crispus Arinitwe, UBC News.
The 3-day National Forum for all Emyoga beneficiaries has today officially closed, marking another milestone in the implementation of the Presidential Wealth Creation Program. The forum, which brought together leaders of the Emyoga circles from all the 18 beneficiary categories across the country, was presided over by the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among.
Addressing participants at the closing ceremony, the Speaker commended beneficiaries for their commitment to promoting financial inclusion and enterprise development among their members.
I was very blessed when I saw whatever I saw there. I was really very impressed that we can do our own validation.
She also pledged to lobby for an increased budget for the Microfinance Support Center in order to enable more Emyoga circles to access affordable financing.
As a chief mobilizer, as a chief missionary, and as the Speaker of Parliament, I want to assure you my unwavering support. Mr. Mujuni, at no time will I want to hear you say we do not have money. Because this money goes to our people, to the local people down.
We pray that we shall get that money so that our yoga circles grow and grow and grow.
In his closing remarks, the Executive Director of the Microfinance Support Center, John Peter Mujuni, noted that many Emyoga circles have greatly matured since the program was launched, citing improved governance, savings culture, and loan repayment.
Many of these circles, Right Honorable, have matured from infancy. If they were a baby, that is breastfeeding. Now some of them say they are about to stop breastfeeding and they want to go to porridge from grant to a credit fund because now they have become leaders.
Resilient circles and groups have been built to create wealth and jobs, bringing government services closer to the communities across Uganda, leading to socio-economic transformation.
I want to make an appeal to all the people in our communities, most especially those that have ever benefited from the yoga program. This has been our voice, that please let's prepare ourselves, come out on 15th, go and vote.
President Yoweri Museveni, mwine kaguta, ejo manzi rugamba, rutatina wisho, otabyamira rurimi, rurete ntunguka, omu Uganda.
Chris Buyondo, UBC.
Court orders issued in 2019 directed relevant authorities to ensure that prisoners and Ugandans living in the diaspora participate in general elections and exercise their constitutional right to vote. But the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Justice Simon Webakama, says that the Commission will not implement the court orders due to the absence of a clear legal framework.
Reports from Uganda Prisoners Service show that by November 2025, Uganda had 79,186 inmates, with trends showing increasing convictions and a reduction in remand cases. Article 59(1) and 3 of the Constitution of Uganda provides that every Ugandan citizen 18 years and above has the right to vote and places a duty on the state to ensure that all eligible citizens are registered and able to exercise this right. These constitutional provisions were emphasized in the landmark 2019 High Court decision delivered by Justice Lydia Mugambe, who ordered all prisoners and Ugandans living in diaspora to participate in the general elections.
As a commission, we alerted the relevant authorities who are supposed to formulate laws or amend laws or make laws that before we can embark on implementing this court decision, we need the relevant legal framework in place.
With only days left to the pause, prisoners and Ugandans living abroad remain excluded.
But remember, our legal framework has a history. For example, where the polling station is supposed to be located is a matter of our history.
Because in the current legal framework, you are allowed to vote at a polling station which is in the parish where you reside or where you originate or you are born. Now, are we going to say, hey, in California, do you have parishes like we have in Uganda so that we set up these polling stations?
The orders were to be implemented by the relevant authorities, including the Attorney General's office.
They are not in prison by their own free will. They've been sent there by the court. For example, if someone were in prison and they wanted to go for medical treatment, you apply to the court. So if any prisoner would like to participate in the election and they feel they are constrained, all they have to do is apply to the court that sent them there to allow them to go and vote.
And this talk of convicts who have been convicted and are serving sentences, it does not take all other rights. You cannot say that you write to ISA and then they allow you. What is important is that government needs to respect this.
But what exactly makes it hard for the Electoral Commission to include prisoners in the elections?
The Uganda Prisons Act, I don't have it here, for instance, prohibits certain things, which if you have to carry out elections, will not be implemented, or will not be observed.
You cannot have a polling station inside a place that cannot be fully accessible to the public. So, for example, you cannot have a polling station inside a prison. It's not possible.
It is even clear they even have the numbers and the figures and the details of where these people come from. It is very easy to organize it and know, okay, these people are also citizens, they're entitled to vote.
Now, for as long as there's no relevant legal framework, the Electoral Commission's hands are tied.
According to the 2024 National Census conducted by Uganda Bureau of Statistics, there are approximately 2 million Ugandans living in the diaspora.
So you are not going to go to the United States of America and say we are setting up a polling station as we do in Uganda, in every state of the U.S. You must have the relevant law that defines how you are going to enable voters in the U.S. or in the diaspora to participate in these elections.
The people in the diaspora can fly back here, vote, and then go back.
That is a cost, because we know we have communities out there. So if they cannot enjoy the rights they are supposed to, benefit and enjoy as Ugandans, even those in diaspora, then why are they even paying taxes here?
If the court orders are implemented, Uganda will join South Africa, Denmark, Finland, Ireland, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, and Ukraine in allowing prisoners to vote. Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nance Subuga, UBC News.
The NRM flag bearer for Bukonzo County West, Kasese, Dr. Crispus Chionga, has called upon the people of Kasese to massively vote for all NRM candidates if they are to benefit from government.
Johnson Chiriango, one of the senior NRM cadres in Kasese district, also requested the population to vote for leaders who would work closely with President Museveni.
That he's the person, the lovely person among all presidential candidates from the beginning to today. It would be prudent enough for the people to see that since Museveni is going to be the next president, all the representatives of the people should be Museveni-like.
Mayora Johnson expressed concern over lack of safe water in the area.
When Dr. Chionga was still here, we used to have enough water. You see, he's the major person who was behind the gravity flow scheme, the Bora gravity flow scheme. When he was here, he's the person who struggled and brought for us that water, that project. But in the 10 years, the scheme is dead. We need him back to rehabilitate that water project.
The chief campaigning manager for Chionga, Peter Kakule, attributes his message as key points that aim at reducing poverty in the community.
West is a rural constituency. And the message of Dr. Crispus Chionga suits in the needs of the grassroots people, of the rural people. First of all, as Bukonzo West neighbors of DRC, basing on the demand needs of people of DRC, one, they need meat. There is a high demand for poultry.
Clearly, NRM has performed nationally. For example, initiatives like PDM, these are new things which have made an impact, and the people have seen that. Number two, I think the messaging from the president has deepened advice on income generation. It was there before, but I think it's much deeper now.
The Electoral Commission has sensitized stakeholders in the Teso sub-region on polling procedures and election preparedness ahead of the January 15th general elections.
The training at Soweto University involved key players in the electoral process. The presidential advisor, Teddy Acham, called for peaceful elections and urged security agencies to remain neutral during the electoral process.
I think Uganda has reached a stage. Uganda has been elected. It is not the first time Uganda has elected very many years back. By now, we should be having elections as normal as anything. And after the elections, after the results, people will go to enjoy and praise and accept that this is what we have done, because it is from the people, not from a personality.
Acham also cautioned RDCs against interfering the elections.
Let the people do their own talking. Let people decide. Don't go and decide on behalf of people.
Regional Election Officer, Eastern Region, Christine Majezi, called upon all stakeholders to work as a team and adhere to electoral laws.
The offices of Electoral Commission remain open. We are open to accreditation. We have accredited already the media that shall be in the fields.
Regional Human Rights Officer Josephine Akelo said Uganda Human Rights Commission has established a situation room to monitor the election process.
Every stakeholder
in the election to ensure that we play our different roles and ensure that we respect human rights in all the processes.
The RPC Choga East, Ibrahim Saija, warned individuals and groups planning to disrupt the electoral process.
Calling candidates who feel that they may use violence to achieve their mission. As police and sister agencies, we are on the watch out. We have all what it takes to ensure that we create peace.
Greater Ankole Sub-Region have expressed commitment to vote for NRM in the general elections due 15th January. Our reporter that side has it in detail.
Political leaders in Ntungamo say voting President Museveni in the forthcoming elections is to appreciate his contribution to the country. This will enable him steer Uganda to prosperity. Hama County aspiring Member of Parliament Beatrice Rakimari says voting for the NRM is synonymous with peace and development. Chenyi County woman Member of Parliament Naume Kabasharira says the developments in the region guarantee massive support for President Museveni and all NRM flag bearers.
We have benefited a lot from this government. If we go in the line of health, if you look at the health sector, we have two hospitals, health center for. Every county is supposed to have one health center for. But in Rushenyi we have two health center for, Zurushoka health center for and Rubare health center for.
Ntungamo Municipality Member of Parliament Yona Musenguzi notes that the vote on 15th January is for all Ugandans who desire sustainable development.
We are voting for ourselves. This is not a Museveni's vote, it is the vote of the people of Uganda, of Ntungamo. As the Vice Chairperson, I've traversed the whole of Ntungamo. People are waiting and they are ready. They are waiting for 15th to vote Yona, to vote flag bearers, but at the end of the day, above it all, to vote for President Museveni. And this is not his vote, it is the vote of the people.
Other legislators in the region appreciate President Museveni's contribution to sustainable development.
There is free education. Although the president is insisting, yes, what we call free, the story down there is different. So he has promised to put a lot of effort to make sure that if education is free for the children, it will be free.
This was brought by NRM and mostly the President Museveni, because we have had presidents who never allowed everybody to practice this freedom of worship. So we thank President Museveni and we thank NRM. Support the bus, support Museveni, support NRM, support flag bearers.
The National Electoral Commission has dispatched 543 ballot boxes to Kagadi District Electoral Commission headquarters to be distributed to 543 polling stations. A total of 208,121 voters are to participate in the presidential and parliamentary elections on the 15th of January in Kagadi.
The Kagadi District Returning Officer, Mercy Atao, says all the required materials, including ballot papers, have been received from the National Electoral Commission. Atao says 3,258 polling officials have been trained to conduct elections at 543 polling stations in 35 sub-counties of Kagadi District.
Boxes had their seals broken in transportation, but we have replaced them with another seal of transportation. So The exercise was okay. We have received all the materials, and now we are set.
The returning officer reported clashing of parliamentary contenders with rival supporters at campaign venues.
Your constitutional right to vote leaders of your choice and hold them accountable. So I want to encourage you to exercise your constitutional right and vote leaders of your choice.
The Kagadi District Resident Commissioner, Karo Kashaija, called for calm and peace during these elections.
If there's anybody planning goons or anybody to disorganize my field, please take caution. We are ready to arrest you. Nobody is going to disorganize our peace.
Members of the Gatao Cooperative have praised the NRM government for the contribution to national development. The group was moving to Coral Ceremonial Grounds for the NRM final rally.
The Gatao Association, which brings together 128 circles from Wakiso district, say its members felt compelled to attend the Kololo meeting to show appreciation and support. The chairperson, Yasin Kasozi, and members say the president has supported them with equipments used in their various income-generating activities, which in turn reduced criminals.
Asidi capital banji twaganyulwamu. Mu kuganyulwamu okwo ne tweyongera okweyongera ku nnamba eyali mu ssaka eyo. Era bingi ebyakyukamu mu Kiseka market okugeza okwekalakasa kwakendeera. Kubanga kimu kyatandikiraawo abavubuka baali babikola bonna ne tubateeka mu ssaka eyo. Bwe tubateeka mu ssako okwekalakasa ne kukola ki ne kukendeera.
Namasuba ebyuma gyebiri. Kajinja road Kireka ebyuma gyebiri. Kawanda ebyuma gyebiri. Bwayise ebyuma gyebiri. Busega ebyuma gyebiri. Buli kimu ekiri naye embeera eribo bali mu kubagala olw'embeera nti bali mu bifo bitali byabwe ate nkituleetera ensonyi mu maaso ga president.
They add that President Museveni understands their struggles and they encouraged all the members of the association to vote for him in the 2026 general elections.
Nga tugenda kulaba nga mu mbeera yonna akalulu tukawangula. Buli lw'olaba bbaasi tiikinga, buli lw'olaba bbaasi tiikinga.
One of the beneficiaries, Chirabo Juliet, said traders at Kiseka Market received seed capital from President Museveni. She also reminded the president of his visit on 7th July 2025, during which he promised to increase the seed capital that more members could benefit.
Omukulembeze w'eggwanga twaliyo e Kawanda ng'ennaku z'omwezi 7 Ogw'omusanvu 2025 n'otusuubiza taata nti ogenda kutwongerayo ka seed capital. Ab'ebyuma nabo bongere tusobole okweyongera okusituka kubanga n'abakyala gye bali eyo abamu tebalina mirimu bulungi bye bakola tebibatambulira bulungi. Naye muzeeyi oba otwongeddemu nga bwe watusuubiza tuba tusobola okukola ki okwongera okusituka n'abatannaba kufuna abalala nabo bakole ki nabo baganyulwemu.
Charity Marion Imnat for UBC.
And that brings us to the end of all we had for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakon and the whole team. We wish you the best of the night. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.